Welcome to On the Mic with the M.
Auntie,
Today's discussion is what do you want to talk about today?
we can go with people doing too much and not
Oh,
doing enough at all.
girl, that's the damn truth. Oh my God, that is so true. It's like everyone wants everything, but they're doing too goddamn much to really know what they're doing. I think they
Mhm.
in their head. I think in everybody's head there's a vision of I want to be something or
Like an
be
end result,
yeah
but you're just going and you don't have any real idea on how to attain it.
exactly
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
because you got to get your thoughts out of your head. Sometimes you got to write them out, make a plan.
But you know what? People don't even want to do that shit no more. they
I
don't want to write
I
shit out.
don't people most people never wanted to write anything out.
And they
It
want to keep
wasn't
it
it
in their
was because
head.
it's not the easier way. Most of us
Yes.
go for that easier route.
Always.
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
easy.
it's got to be easy. So if I can keep it in my head and get it done like that, and I'm in
Mm-hmm.
the grind and I'm hustling hard, quote
Yeah.
unquote,
Yeah.
but I've been doing the same hustle for 10 years, or I might have even changed the hustle,
Yep.
but I still haven't attained that end result.
And that's so sad though, because in your head you would think at some point, you said 10 years. You would think after
Yeah.
year one, number one, you were like, well, what if I'm doing an evaluation? What am I doing? Is it working?
Mhm.
And a lot of people, like you said, they just go through the motion and go, oh, I take it with this, I take it with that. Well, what if you take it with something that doesn't work?
Exactly.
And you keep doing and wasting time and tinkering
Exactly.
and
Because
tinkering.
technically, just going insane, working yourself to death.
Yes.
Yeah.
For what? For
It's like
what?
the number one thing is like buying a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like you went to work and
Mm-hmm.
you claim that you're doing everything that you need to do to get this house and you're exhausted, right? You're quote
Exactly.
unquote doing too much, right?
Yes.
At the end of 7 years, you still haven't obtained this house. You ain't done enough. What just
Exactly.
happened here?
Exactly.
Because you made enough money,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got your
True.
credit score to where it was supposed to be at,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't cross the line. We have some savings. Maybe we just didn't have enough savings. Maybe we didn't know how much to save. But either way, when you just are going and going
Mm.
and going without any solid plan,
Yes. Yes.
right? Because
Exactly.
normally, if you have a solid plan, it's a plan that somebody else also looked over, right? So you're not just advising yourself here.
But you know what? People don't even do that. People
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't go to someone who's an expert in that and say, hey, am I, based on what I'm doing right now, am I on the track to doing or getting to where I need to get to?
Right.
Because everybody, well, I checked YouTube or I checked this
Yeah.
and I
You
checked
want to
that.
be self made. Coming
Yes.
in this era where everybody claims to, just I did it by myself type of thing. And I didn't do nothing by myself. Like,
No.
that's to me, that's not it. I don't know who or why you would want to do it by yourself.
It
What,
sounds good. It
but
sounds
to
good on paper
who?
to you to say that I didn't need nobody in this world to get to where I need to get to. I did on
Oh,
my own and blah 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 blah,
no.
which is bullshit because you
Yeah.
needed someone to say I'm going to give you an opportunity. Because
Yes, you
that's the other
did.
thing.
The
Unless you
opening.
are yes,
Mm-hmm.
unless you are Rockefeller or DuPont or someone who was born in money,
Yeah, born into wealth. Yeah.
someone had to take a chance on you and say, you know what, I'm going to give this person an opportunity to get to where you need to get to. Now, if you're a stupid motherfucker, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to say that truly,
Mm-hmm.
you'll forget like, oh well, I nobody helped me. But if you go
Mm-hmm.
back, if that one person didn't give you the opportunity to do better, you wouldn't be here. If no
Right.
one gave you an
Right.
opportunity, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So somebody has to give
So
you an
you
opportunity.
never ever do it all by yourself.
No,
And you
never.
didn't come from nothing. You came from
No.
somebody.
Somebody,
Yeah.
something, and someone gave you an opportunity. You may have had the push and the drive to
Yeah,
do
you
it.
got to work hard. And
Yes,
some people's version of hard is harder than others.
very much so.
Right?
Yes.
Like my hard isn't your hard.
No,
Right? My
no,
struggles could not be your struggles and vice versa.
no. And the other thing people always want to do is like, you know what, mine is much harder than yours and blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
It's all an interpretation because our struggles here in the U.S., we think it's hard. But can you
Yes.
imagine being in India or Africa?
Yeah, third world
Third
third
world
world
struggle.
struggles.
When you're trying to eat
Yeah.
every day, you're just trying to
The
get clean
basic
water.
struggle is clean water, yeah.
And you,
Where
and you
that to us is that concept is foreign to us. Yeah, the
exactly.
very idea that you don't have clean water, drinking water. Like, what?
Yes,
Nah, we got that. That's plentiful.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody wants to put their mind on that whole I did it. No, you
Yeah,
have to plan for this.
you
But
do.
nobody really plans. That's with everything. That's with buying a house. That's with
Mm-hmm.
relationships. You
Mm-hmm.
kind of wing it. People are winging it now. I mean,
Hmm.
and everybody's in the same damn pool.
Well, I mean, we could talk about making a plan to buy a house because that's something that's a little more like you can wrap your head around that. But do you actually ever really make a plan when going into a relationship?
No, it just kind of happens. It's really organic. I mean, if you think
Mhm.
about it, you don't go out there and say, you point at a person and say, I want that person to be my wife or I want that person to be my husband.
Mhm.
It's kind of organic. It
Yeah,
starts
looking
with,
for a certain chemistry, a certain bit of
yeah,
attraction, those things that you can't can't quite put your finger on, right?
yes, yes. It's a look, it's a feel, it's something. And
Mhm.
then once you get it, now you want to say, well, where can we go with this?
Yeah.
But you have to kind of talk to the person, see what's going on, and work from that point. That point. But a lot of people, there's people that are like, you know what? That person looks good. They got a lot of money. First of all, bad mistake. Got
Mhm.
a lot of money. Look good, and I'm gonna make this work because they fit a tangible thing.
Okay, that criteria that you set
Yes,
together. Yeah.
but money, as we both know, comes and goes. So if you're looking at somebody who's if your whole thing on a person is if they got money,
Mhm.
that can go today or
Well,
tomorrow.
remember we spoke about the money part a few episodes back, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we spoke about at this age, like
Yes.
keep it 100. It doesn't matter how much money you make, you kind of are spent,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Everybody is spent once you get into your, the bracket that you're in, you spend
Exactly.
more
Yes, you
and
do.
you spoil yourself a little bit more.
You do.
And so you trying to wiggle your way into this new, like, what you thought was an excess of money, it
Mm,
never really quite pans out. So it should be something more there
should be.
when, we're approaching these relationships because it's almost like beauty, right?
Yes.
It fades after a while.
It really, really
Either
does.
you have, so much of it that it just doesn't even matter anymore, you know,
Yes.
or it literally, faded out. We broke.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Right? It's
Yes.
only two ways. And so when it comes to that approach, it's like, yeah, no, it's not sustainable.
No.
Right? It's not gonna get you to the end.
No, it can't. It just won't. And I
Mm-hmm.
think, this society has really messed a lot of people's minds up because the first thing people think about now is looks and money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you go back in the
Both
day,
sides,
both
right?
sides,
The
both.
women. The women I need for my man to look good,
Yeah,
right? And
exactly.
to have a decent bank account, right? The man
Exactly.
as well, right? He needs
Exactly.
for his woman to look
Yes.
good and expect for her to also have a decent bank account, right?
Exactly. And the
Mhm.
first thing for us, we're gonna definitely you have to look good. I mean, we just superficial
I
like
mean,
that.
yeah.
You gotta look
Yeah.
good. You can't look like no disrespect out here to Precious or people who look like Precious.
Mhm.
But it's the real talk is a dude ain't gonna holler at you if you look like Precious unless you got money.
Okay.
Now if you got money, he gonna holler at you, but it's not even gonna be for her. It's for because she got money.
Right, right.
Just like certain people may
To
not be
kind of
attractive.
use.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
to use her, and then and if she doesn't have a good self esteem, hey, okay, she knows he's using it for money too. So she's gonna allow that to happen. She's gonna allow herself to take that hit, so to speak,
Okay.
because she
Cuz you're
realized that
enjoying the time being spent.
exactly.
Okay.
So
Would you just threw it down somewhere?
you didn't leave at the laundromat, did you? Oh, I ain't see it.
Oh, that OPI bag. Uh-uh. That's better.
Like if a woman, unfortunately, is not attractive, and again, beauty's always in the eye of the beholder. But in today's society, you have to look a certain way to basically, for a guy, we're gonna look at you a certain way and expect you. We're gonna approach you if you look that way. But if you got money, you ain't look so hot. Hey, we'll still approach you because again, we're gonna assume that you need some love. We're gonna assume that you ain't got no self love, so we're gonna holler at you because she may be ugly in a motherfucker, but she got money. She look good. So, we're going to holler at you. And you may have to close my eyes while having sex with you. I may have to say, oh, Lord, imagine her as Halle Berry or Megan Thee Stallion or somebody. But goddamn it, she got money. Hey, we're some fickle motherfuckers. That's how we are sometimes. I mean, not all of us, but quite a few of us.
I'm assuming this is you all when you don't have the bag.
Yes. We got the bag. Sometimes we got to listen. We're gonna have to choke it up a little bit. And, we got to swallow our pride a little bit and be out here with her. We may have to go out with her tonight. I mean, at night and day, not just night.
Oh, because you down that hard or down that low.
And she want to show. If she looks like that and she has a low self-esteem, she gonna want to parade you out in the daytime because nobody never expect her to have nobody. But you're like, you know what? It's for the bag. So I gotta do what I gotta do for the bag. God damn it! I gotta hang out with her. I'm gonna kiss her a little bit and hold her and hold her hand. Hey, it's the money. So I gotta do what I gotta do.
How does this end?
Not well. It does not end well.
This is all I'm thinking about. Like, this cannot possibly end well at all.
No.
We're out in the public, kissing, doing too much.
Because, again, at some point, he's going to get enough out that situation that he'll say, you know what? I've done enough. I've sacrificed. And he gonna drop it like a
and you over here sacrificing. I'm over here getting built up, thinking that this is my new norm. Out holding my hand, rubbing my shoulder,
rubbing your feet.
Wow!
Yeah, you gonna rub your feet. You gonna say, rub your feet, girl, and then you go ahead and put some petals on the bed for you and everything.
Oh yeah, hey, this is gonna go down real bad. Real bad. So this man done put rose petals all on the bed and just dropped me like a bad habit.
In the shape of a heart too.
Wow. You're doing too much.
And he has to because he got to get that bag. So he just can't half-ass do it. He got to do something that nobody else did.
Okay.
So he's gonna put it out there
and keep on going.
And you gonna put that money. That money gonna be nothing. You gonna put that money out there like you're gonna open the ATM. Boom, 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 boom. Money just coming out. And then he gonna look one day because you know what? I've done enough. I gotta go.
I can't keep on rubbing these feet.
No. And he gonna bounce. And you're gonna be hurt.
Yes.
You're gonna be devastated.
Because you done told me all types of stuff. And first of all, this woman thought y'all was in love.
Yes.
Once them rose petals went into that heart shape, was love.
Girl got some Luther Vandross playing every damn thing. He got all that shit. Just laid out there. Just damn, that nigga, that boy loved me. He loves me. And his mind's like, the bag.
The countdown.
Yep, the bag.
You're just counting down. How many days?
Almost there. Just suck it up. Suck it up. You're almost there. But that's the unfortunate thing. That's why money should never be. It goes both ways. Because again, think about it. If a woman look at a guy, he looks like the back of a shoe.
Okay.
But he is loaded. You're gonna sacrifice. You know what? I'm gonna have to go ahead and
this
hug
man looked like a
worn out shoe,
wow.
a pair of Uggs that you had 3 seasons ago.
Wow.
and
and survived the blizzard too. Wow.
Blizzards, ice storms, everything. And you like, oh my God. To yourself, I'm speaking as for a woman. I'm not sure, but if you look like a back of a shoe, but you know he loaded, you're gonna say, you know what? And you're cute. You're going to say, I'm going to go ahead and go for him.
Okay.
Now, you're not going to go for him. You're going to go for him for the bag. My assumption would be, I may be wrong.
He might be a nice guy.
So you mean to tell me.
The back of the shoe.
The back of the shoe with a lot of money.
It might be a nice guy also.
Y'all may look and say, oh, behind all that face. Stuff. and aside from the millions and millions of dollars he got, he may be a nice guy. I mean,
he might have a nice personality. Women,
Wow.
I'm trying to say women aren't as shallow as men. Did it
Okay.
hold up? Did it hold
I'm
up?
listening to you. I'm looking at your face. I'm like, you trying to get me to believe this. So I'm gonna go with you. We're gonna go in that other universe that okay,
Mhm.
yes, that you like him for his personality.
But no, I feel you. Yeah, I mean, it is bullshit. It is. It is. Women do make, yeah, women and men make the sacrifice. Um, I'm gonna call it for the sake of a come up,
Yeah.
kind of quote unquote doing what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to use this person. Yeah, I've seen it. We've all kind of seen it, and
Yeah.
it never ends well.
No.
I mean that back of the shoe man looking man is gonna be mad. He's gonna be super gross face once this
Oh
goes
God. Can
down.
you imagine?
If
He
he
already looks
was,
bad already. So
yeah,
now you don't really grind it. You don't took that face and grind it up even more.
pretty much, pretty
Oh,
much. It's gonna be a
jeez.
real bad breakup. Talking about an
Oh,
ugly breakup.
oh
Yeah,
my
that's
God.
it.
Oh my
That's it.
God.
That's what you've created.
I can see him now. You're gonna leave me. You're gonna leave me. You're like, yeah, it ain't working out. It's not even you, it's me.
It's
No,
me.
no, no. I think it's because I look. You're like, no, 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 no. It's
No,
it's
no,
it's
no.
me.
It's
It's
me.
not
I got to
you.
work on myself. I need some time to myself. That's what you have to say.
Yeah, you have to.
Nobody believes that either,
Hell
though.
no. I'm
No.
not gonna believe that bullshit. So you have you have those two extremes of people who are not based on society's vision or
Mhm.
society's take are not physically attractive,
Right.
but they got money.
Right.
Because imagine the two people who aren't attractive, male, female, with no money.
I mean, now ooh,
Yes,
and this dating pool.
in this dating pool.
Yeah, that's rough.
Imagine Biggie Smalls with no money.
I mean, technically, you can be attractive and still and with no money, and you get someplace, but you're not gonna get that far.
No,
Hmm.
no, and that I think that right now is kind of the thing that is kind of tainting everything because money in today's world is important.
Yeah.
It's at one point you could look at somebody on the company, you could look at some chick who works at McDonald's. You're like, you know what? You know she ain't making no money, but
Mhm.
she's cute.
Mhm.
You can probably, I may holler at her because she's
Right.
cute
Right.
back in the day.
Right.
But now you like, I hope she got IG going on. Maybe she got the OnlyFans going on. I hope she got something else going on than this.
Because this is
Because
not enough.
no, this is definitely not enough. Definitely
This is
not.
not enough for her. In
Mm-mm.
other words, for
Because
her to be with me.
no, because again, this is the IG. This is the social media world we live in. Because
Mhm.
you want to show somebody that you want to come up. You want to show somebody, hey, we're doing things. Now we also know it's all
Oh,
a bunch of
that you're on
lies.
your way up.
Yeah, you want to show
Yeah.
that she's cute, she look good, I'm looking
Uh-huh.
good. You
So
want to
in
show
other words, the
people,
woman can't just be regular.
not she she should be just be good being regular,
Mhm.
but in today's world, regular ain't
Mhm.
gonna get you but so far.
Yeah.
And Lord knows you don't have no body. If you just a regular looking chick with nothing, no body, no nothing, no money,
I
and
mean,
no
you could
body,
buy that out of Target. Little butt pads, little push-up
but
bra.
but you
Like,
do gotta
come
take it
on.
off.
Yeah,
It,
but for Instagram's sake, you're good.
yeah.
You gotta get your angles in
Oh,
order,
gotta get the angles
put all
tight.
of your stuff together,
Got
duct
to.
tape it up, and let's go.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that is to me is having a bullshit relationship. It's not even a relationship. It's just a situationship.
Mhm.
Because at that point, y'all are two people just in this for what?
Time's sake. We
Damn.
just passing time. We know we're
Oh
not kind of
Lord.
going nowhere with it, but we are gonna pass a little time.
And what you just said is
Mhm.
the ultimate mistake. Time continues. Time is a continuum. So the time you waste
Mhm.
is precious time that you're losing. Because if let's say I'm gonna say 10 years. Let's say 10 years, you spent your time on the come up and doing all that stuff. And then you were 20. And then you doing all this stuff and doing, you go do all these things. By now you're 30.
Yep.
So at 30, you're gonna say, let me reevaluate where I am
Now
at.
you talking about you want to get serious.
Now I want to get serious.
Yeah.
But along the way, you may have met some guys who may not have been where you want them to
Mhm.
be.
Mhm.
But you're like, you don't fit in.
You were trying to do your come up years. Uh-huh.
And now you're 30.
So now you're 30. Yeah. You didn't care about chemistry back then, or if you were really feeling a guy, if a guy really was feeling you, didn't care, how respectful this one was or how disrespectful that one was. She was just trying to come up.
Trying to come up.
Took whatever you could take.
And now,
Gave away yourself to whoever, you
girl,
had to.
you done gave away your GPYs. And
Mhm.
for ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what GPYs are. I call it your good pussy years. And it's just like sand in an hourglass. When you flip it over, you have a certain amount of sand in that hourglass. And when that sand dissipates, so is your good pussy years. So GPYs. So be very careful how you use those good pussy years, because
How
if you
you
use them
spending
wrong,
them?
yes, be very
Mhm.
careful, because it's like brain cells. Because once
Mhm.
they're gone, they're
Mhm.
gone. You
Mhm.
can't go back to, oh, I want to go back and no.
Mhm.
Once they're gone, they're gone. So that's what people feel.
Those
Women,
are quote unquote, when they reference the best years of my life. I gave you the best years of my
there you
life.
go.
Yeah, it used to be that you gave the best years of your life to somebody who poured into you also.
Mm-hmm.
And you literally got the best years of their life also.
Exactly, and it
That's
goes
a
both ways. You're
difference.
right.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
good dick years and
definitely.
good pussy years. So
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So be careful how you use it.
Yeah, because you don't want to have that conversation and it be one-sided.
Oh.
Because so often it's a one-sided conversation. You did too much and you didn't do
Mm.
enough.
Yes, and we see it a lot.
Like you just gave and you didn't get. Like why? Why? Why'd you do
Why?
that? Like
Why?
nobody told you that's how the game was played.
No,
They
but you
actually
played it
told you
that
that
way.
that's not how it was played.
But where would you learn that from? If no one taught you that, how do you find that out?
Now somebody taught you that.
See, I bet you. I hope it's not one of your aunties who you can look at her at 50 and like, oh, this is what happens if I do what she did.
Because what you thought you saw and what you thought you was doing was kind of finessing the game and then taking it up a few notches, and you thought you saw your uncle do it like this, and then you
Mm-hmm.
thought you saw this on a movie like that, and
Mm-hmm.
then you said, you know what, I'm gonna just take that up a few notches and then do it like this, and I'm gonna just be out here to get what I need for
Mm.
for a year or two, and then you thought you was feeling yourself, and then you put yourself back out there. One guy broke your heart, or one girl broke
Mm-hmm.
your heart, so you was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going savage out here type of
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Until, you realize that you by yourself or it's slim pickings for something that's worth what you want, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. And that's where you were talking about coming with a plan.
Mhm.
You don't plan. It's like you're just floating through and adjusting accordingly, but you're not really looking at the end game. You're playing checkers, still
Mhm.
chess with your game.
Yeah.
You're just looking at the next move, not 3 moves down the road, because at some point you need to start to say, what am I ultimately? I want to be happy, and that's
Mhm.
what everybody, they want to be happy. But what does, I guess it depends on what does happiness mean to you.
Well, yeah, what does the happiness look like to you?
Yes,
Right? Cuz sometimes you're looking at somebody else's version of happiness and that's just not, your version of happiness.
that is so true. Everybody wants to be married. Everybody wants to
Yeah.
be, but
Or
they don't
they want a certain type of marriage.
exactly.
Right? Like you want your marriage to look like mine's, but first of all, you don't have a clue on what my marriage actually looks like.
No,
Right?
you
Or you want
don't.
it to look like something you've seen on TV, but you don't actually even understand what that dynamic actually truly looks like.
You really don't, and it's just because they think it looks good.
Mhm.
That it looks like a TV show, and it's perfect. One, I heard someone say a long time ago, they got married, and they said, "My marriage, this was the best day of my life." And I said to them, "If this is your best day, it's a
Mhm.
wrap.
Mhm.
Because if today you first got married, this is your best day,
Yeah.
you only gonna go down. If this is
Yeah.
your apex, you could just gonna go straight down.
Yeah.
So this should be the beginning of better days. It should be getting better every year. It should be like fine wine. It should be
Mhm.
getting
Cuz
better.
it's something that you're working on.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's always changing. We're all changing.
Mhm.
We're not bricks. We're not two bricks put together and then that's it. No, it changes. I mean, it's like a house. It settles. So, you have to adjust for the settlement. You got to do
Yeah.
some changes inside, because we all grow. We constantly grow.
None of us are going to stay the same.
No, never.
Yeah, and we have to be mindful of that. That's that growth you have to work on, right? It's like a plant. You got to constantly water it. You got to constantly expose it to the light. You got to
Yes.
take care of it
You have to.
constantly.
constantly, every
Yeah, it's not
single
something you
day.
can say, "Oh, I watered it 4 days ago, it's fine."
No, no.
Okay.
It's like,
Those
alrighty.
leaves certainly are turning brown for a reason then.
Exactly.
Like,
It's
duh.
like, and I'm
Yeah, you're not
surprised.
taking care. Mhm.
And a lot of people nowadays don't understand that. When you
Mhm.
get in relationships, and if you don't really have a plan, first of all, you got to know what makes you happy.
Mhm.
Each person need to know what makes them happy. And so if you're going there from the physical, that's going to change. If you're going there for, oh, she fine,
Uh-huh.
well,
For the
fine,
physical look.
that's going to
Uh-huh.
change.
Yeah.
So you have to
Or
get
for
to,
the male, you going because he fine.
and that's going to change. That pretty
Yeah.
soon that bama going to have a bald head,
Yeah.
a pop belly,
Or
and
if he too fine, he's too attractive, right? Like too many people want him.
if
And
he's,
vice versa.
yeah, if he's wearing your makeup, it's probably a
Yeah.
problem.
Or that. He's too
Yep.
he went to the extreme on that, but pretty much.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so you have to like
It
look
has
and
to be
say,
something so much more.
got to be more.
Mhm.
But everybody's into the money. Everybody's into those
The money
things.
is important though, right?
It is, and you got to have some. Well, I guess for me, more than the money is what's your motivation.
Mhm.
What do you want to do with your life?
Mhm.
If you're just looking for somebody to go on the come up, then what are you going to do when you get there? When you say, "Oh, I want to come up," and I get to that level, and then what happens then? Do you say, "I'll
Well, when
run"?
I referenced the money is important, I didn't mean for somebody else's come.
Because think about it, if I'm a guy and I'm looking at you like I'm gonna use it for a come up.
Okay.
So me as a guy shouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna use it for a come up.
Mhm.
I should have a bigger plan than just using you
I
for a
mean,
come
the
up.
very idea that you're trying to come up on a woman or,
That's pretty damn
on a
bad.
relationship. Yeah, like come on. You're
I'm a,
destroying the
oh my
dating
god,
pool.
I'm gonna say this:
Destroying it.
if you're a sucker who's using a woman for a goddamn come up, you should really evaluate your manhood. You should really evaluate who the hell you are.
I mean, most of them aren't. They're just gonna keep on moving.
Damn.
That's the whole idea of a come up, right? You just don't look
Mm.
back.
But at what point do you? At what point do you say, "Hey, I'm tired of playing this game. I
Mhm.
need to get serious"? Because again,
Mhm.
originally it's a game. For everybody's a game.
Right.
But at some point you want to grow. You want to say, you know what? I'm tired of this. I want to do something different. And if you never do that, you'll end up being 55, 60 years old and still coming up, still trying to get over.
Mhm.
And I think
Mhm.
that's pretty goddamn
You just
sad.
adopted that lifestyle
Oh,
of getting over on people.
damn.
Right?
Yes.
Stops from trying to quote unquote come up to just a point where you're just a taker. You just trying to get over.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that's bad. And that again is peeing in that pool. And that's
Mhm.
what's happening. People are peeing all in the same damn pool
Mhm.
and expecting that water to be clean. It's not clean anymore.
No, the dating pool is totally swampy.
Oh, it's like
The
a
fish
day.
are all mutated.
Exactly. You fall in the water, you can't see shit because it's so muddy
Yeah,
and
and murky.
murky. And then you're like, I can't find nobody here. Well, you're
Mhm.
all in the same water, but you just have pissed in the pool so much that the water is now stained.
Yeah, no, it's plenty of people there. You've just kind of tainted them already.
Oh,
Yeah, and then threw them back in the ocean and said they weren't any good. But they weren't good. They're no good because of the things that we've done to each other.
done to each other.
Yeah, it's a male and female situation out here. The census is in. I just have to put it out there. Like we're both really just wrecking each other up. Last episode that we did when we spoke about the woman's roles in the household and the women
Oh,
going back into traditional settings.
yes.
We met maybe on a Monday, and I think by Wednesday, met with a few clients. Maybe it was even Thursday, and had an older woman come in, and she had mentioned her granddaughter,
Mm-hmm.
and she had said, my granddaughter's at home with her new baby,
Okay.
new wife,
Mm-hmm.
and the hubby is back at work,
Mm-hmm.
and the husband and her got into a little tiff,
Mm-hmm.
right? He comes home, baby's so cute, house is so messy, and there's no food smell in the air.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Now, I just kind of went to war for my ladies, right, on that one, right? I think I
Uh-huh.
screamed out the fact that I was even a chef, right? I'm gonna say it twice, right? I'm gonna get carried away. Um, but yeah, grandma said I had to look at baby girl and basically tell her, I know you because I used to kind of live with you, and you're lazy.
Oh, she went
Yeah,
there?
I mean that's a good grandma. Yeah,
Yes.
she had to go there, and they kind of stay there. Like they're
Yes.
nice, but they're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna tell you any lies. Lies don't help.
No.
Like I'm not here to, baby girl. I need to make you into a whole proper adult, so you can take care of your baby and take care of me eventually.
There you go.
And yeah, she told her you're lazy, and that what
Wow.
you did. That's not it. You can't let the time escape you like that. You let the whole day
No.
go by and you didn't rattle any pans.
Wow. And he's working and he's the only one working and taking care of
Yeah, and
everything?
perhaps he's working, but maybe you have some residual money coming in, right?
Okay.
Because you're on leave, maybe.
Yeah.
But does that even matter?
No.
Like you,
No,
you.
it shouldn't.
I mean, your body does go through a point after having a child where you kind of just need to rest, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But then that's done.
That's true. And you have to
You gotta
adjust
get
your
up.
life accordingly.
You do.
You have to.
And get up in that kitchen and rattle those pans and clean up behind yourself. Because technically, I think that was the only one there to make the mess. The newborn baby can't make the mess.
It makes its own mess, but it does not make that type of mess. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so to follow that up, the person right after her
Mm-hmm.
came in, and just kind of leaned in as we normally do.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of rattled the same type of story. And he loves this woman and, nice girl, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, she doesn't do much in the house either.
God
Put
damn.
your arms down, Mackenzie.
The producer is like, what the hell? The producer is kind of throwing his hand up like, what? I'm doing like this too. What? So
I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed for you.
Okay.
Because you had to hear it.
Because I thought we were doing better.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least I want us to do better.
Yes.
I don't understand why nobody wants to cook. Where are y'all eating at? I don't get it.
Here's the thing. For some reason, I don't know where, but some reason they're like, oh, I'm taking care of the baby. My whole day is full. I got, the baby's crying and blah, 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 blah. But you have to understand, the grandmothers, the great-grandmothers all had the same issue.
Yeah.
But they were able to take care of the kids.
Yeah.
And they had multiple kids. They didn't have like one.
Because they knew how to ignore babies and children.
And
Sometimes, you can't have the baby, I can't do nothing because the baby keep crying. What else do the baby do other than cry and sleep? Yeah.
cry.
So sometimes you got to brown that meat while the baby crying. I don't know what to tell you. Got to dice them onions. Yeah, you got to have a little self-soothing moment for the baby and get what needs to be done. The baby ain't going to do nothing other than lay there and cry. If the baby cry for 1 minute or 10 minutes, the baby is fine.
Yes.
You have plenty of time throughout the day to start that meal. And generally speaking, you're supposed to start the meal when you first wake up in the morning so that you're done by like 12. So that you ain't got nothing else to do for the rest of the day other than sit there with the baby. That's normally
true.
how you cook dinner. When you ain't going to work.
And you ain't going.
Who starts to work dinner at late? Like, girl, you don't get those pans in order in the morning. Stop playing, get them kids some cereal while you starting on dinner.
And see, that's where the guys, because again, we know it's a lot of work. We know raising kids is a lot. But at least can you throw some beans in a pot?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you do that? It's something I can eat on. Because if I come home at 6 o'clock and there's nothing.
Yeah, the thing I think that kills the men is when they open up the door, right? And they throw your nose up in the air and you don't even smell before they can even say it out loud, they're crushed.
Yes.
You didn't they make them stutter. You didn't cook nothing.
Because in his head he's like,
crushes them.
What the hell you been doing all day?
Yeah, and the fact that they have to say it out loud, I think, yeah.
And we don't. We really don't. We really like, okay, this is common sense.
Yeah.
I didn't eat all damn day because I got to watch my goddamn money because I can't go out there just buy because the baby is expensive. Taking care of the house is expensive. We're on a fixed income.
Yeah.
So I would at least think you would at least cook spaghetti.
Yeah,
Or some
some
beans or
basics.
something.
The most frustrating thing, and I have a couple of friends who are married or were married recently, who had wives who had these same issues, didn't want to cook but were staying at home with the kids, and one of them articulated it, I think, the best I've ever heard it. With technology the way it is now, there's no way you can tell me you couldn't put something on.
Yeah.
You can buy crock pots nowadays where you can just throw frozen food and
I
all
mean,
loose you can throw loose
That's not how
ingredients
you use
in a
crock
pot.
Yes.
And be done and cook.
Yes.
And that's just it. And that's a meal.
That's a meal.
Don't half
Exactly.
step it though.
That's a meal.
He's like, I wouldn't. I'm not a
You
guy
said
who
do
needs.
something other than nothing though.
Put a little
Exactly.
side,
Yes.
put a little side, little rice. That's a meal.
He's like, he said, if she sat there and said, "Oh, I'm gonna just put like make taco," he said, legitimately, I'd have been fine for a week.
Yeah.
He said, all she did was just brown a crap ton of meat, and just said, "Hey, here's some taco meat. I'd have made rice today, and we got tortillas for tomorrow,
Casserole.
and we can make it in a casserole." Like he's like, you can do one thing, make one particular ingredient, and stretch it throughout the entire week. You can make taco meat on Monday, make eggs, casserole, burritos, tacos. I can just eat it as
You
is.
didn't want to.
There's
That's what y'all
options.
saying.
That's what he's like. In essence, he felt like, and that he's divorced now, but he's like, that was one of the reasons why he got divorced, because she said to him that I spend the whole day taking care of your kids while you go out and you don't spend time with them. And he's like, I can't, because if we're both home, who works, right? If I'm home and you're home, no one's working, therefore no money comes in. But you couldn't tell me that you couldn't spend 5 minutes putting some meat in a crock pot. Spending 10-15 minutes of your day just taking chicken to unthaw, and then another 20-30 minutes throughout the day to just put it in the oven and bake it. Like, because there's so many easy ways to make meals, the fact that you couldn't do it just shows a lack of respect. You have no respect for me. And that was the one he kept harping. He's like, I felt like she had no respect for what I put in. Because if I can go out here and I can be in the military and I can sit here and go through underways and be there 10, 12, 14 hours a day doing stuff. You couldn't tell me in that 10 to 14 hours I've been out the house, you couldn't find 1 hour to put something together.
Yeah, that's bad.
Once he put in that work.
Yes.
But piggybacking
That
off
worked.
what Malcolm said, how could you not even make him a sandwich for lunch? You
Yeah.
can't put no
Girl.
lunch together?
Yeah.
Well, hey, and
See,
that's
Because
crazy.
you know money tight.
What's
You know money
crazy
tight.
is that you put a baby or two inside of the girl who refused to make you a
A
sandwich.
sandwich. At the bare
That's
minimum,
the
a
big
sandwich.
problem.
That's a
Right
big goddamn problem.
Yeah.
That's a big
Yeah.
issue.
Wow. Yeah.
Was
no,
she
that's
making
a problem.
sandwiches before?
No.
Or she?
I
Oh,
don't think so.
oh, this is from
Obviously
the
not.
beginning.
For him, I never asked, but as he said, even if that's not something you did before, right? When you get married, there's things that change. And when you have kids, things change. He's like, so if I'm expected to make sure that the house bills are paid, if I'm expected to make sure that when I come home I help with the kids, and you're telling me that in the 14 hours I was gone to work, all those 14 hours you were just sitting there with the kids, there's no possible way. You have designated nap times where they sleep for 2 hours. So what did you do for those 2 hours?
More than that.
I took a nap. But you could have made something in the first hour and then had an hour nap. In the first 30 minutes and had an hour 30 minutes.
Yeah, at that point, you just realized that person didn't want to.
They did
Yeah,
not want
you
to.
just didn't want to, because that also kind of goes back to the roles and responsibilities within the relationship. Have we defined those? Right?
Mhm.
And it sounds like in that situation specifically, I think that was definitely defined. As ma'am, you need to be preparing these meals, certainly
Yes.
as somebody who's not an income winner, and the kids is not your only job in this house. How does the kids, like, that's all you had to do was take care of the children?
No, and that's
What?
BS.
Yeah, what are you feeding the children?
Exactly. And if they're little, okay, it says they're infants, so you know it's just formula or breast milk or however you feed them. So how much work does it take to
No, but
do
then
that?
you have to feed yourself.
Well, yeah,
See,
well,
because
you're
if
eating
you're
something.
nursing, then you have to eat
That's true.
like solid meals.
That
Like
is very true.
I might as well be a football player. Now I'm eating all the way good because I'm nursing and you're taking the life out of me. So what are you consuming?
And what are you consuming that you can't double that so he can have something to eat when he get home? What the hell? I mean,
She made herself a sandwich.
and you know what? Forget him because I'm taking this baby, which is truly bullshit to me. Because when I hear that, I know personally from personal experience when my wife, I had our son, she didn't work. She didn't work for the first couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So she would get up, fix my lunch,
Yeah.
and I go to work. I work, in DC, and then when I came home, food was cooked. I
Yes.
could smell the food coming through the door.
And the hallways, yeah. Come
in
on
fact,
in.
the house clean.
Yes.
House clean.
Hey, baby.
Kid clean. Everybody clean.
Yeah.
Everybody clean.
Because why wouldn't it be? What have you been doing or
Exactly. So there is
sitting
no
there?
goddamn excuse why
just
you can't.
Instagramming it? Oh, they're on Instagram all day.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Is that what
okay.
normally happens?
So
Oh, because you can veg out on there for 8, 12, 14 hours straight. Yeah.
But you still get
Yeah.
hungry.
No, you do. She ordered a pizza. Yeah, or made herself a sandwich. Yeah. She
Oh,
made a
okay.
sandwich. And yeah, he was in the military. She was like, oh, hold on.
Yeah, so you spend
Hold on. Yeah. Oh, all of it.
yeah, his money.
All of it.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
If you got one income, you know you're on a fixed income.
Well, that's what was going on. And if it's not fixed, it's not the same, right? Like your maternity leave income, sometimes it's not the same as your regular pay.
True.
So you're kind of shaking the household up a little bit. And remember, when you're bringing in young children, you're also shaking up your expenses, right?
Yes,
You're
you are.
adding things to the budget that weren't originally there. And so you're definitely trying to curb where you can,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It just makes sense.
Yeah. You can't eat out every night.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you could eat out every night or couldn't. It doesn't taste that good for that long.
No.
At some point, you're like, this food is subpar.
Yes. Yes.
And-
But that, and then wondering why at that point the guy, he don't come home no more. Why?
Oh, yeah.
He don't
Oh,
come,
yeah.
He don't come home directly home. He used to come directly
Yeah.
home.
No, you coming straight home to my house. Yeah, no. I'm a rattle them pants, baby. I'm rattled now.
You
You
like, I
gotta
ain't gonna-
rush.
See.
That cornbread ready.
See?
Let's go.
See,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
it's almost like you got to retrain them. It's almost like you got to have a class. Okay,
Apparently.
for all y'all damn women who are home,
Apparently.
look at this parenting class.
Yeah.
Not that fluff shit you see on TV.
No,
let me
you
show
was supposed to like make all your meats on Sunday type of thing, so you didn't have to work so hard throughout the week.
Yes.
So yeah, you just rattle up your sides during the weekday so your food is fresh.
Yes.
Finish baking whatever meats you have inside the refrigerator, so it's fresh, right?
Yes.
So you can
Yes.
still provide for your family because you too now have to go out and work. So we don't really have many excuses from where I'm from. I don't know.
But it's happening. It's
I
happening
mean,
all over every day.
It sounds like people need to get beat. That's what grandmothers need to start beating women. I don't know what else to say. Some girls didn't. I don't know. Let us not have taken the meat out of the freezer in the morning and then come home and not cook it in the afternoon. In the afternoon, because certainly you ain't starting dinner in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen to us? We would have got beat.
You're going to definitely get beat.
Everybody in the house starving because you didn't cook.
Oh, no.
Bye.
That ain't going to happen.
Bye.
And the other thing that's happening that we ain't talking about is some women don't even bathe.
I'm done.
I'm glad
I
you're
didn't wanna-
home so you can watch the baby while I go and take a shower. My question is, what the fuck were you doing when the baby was asleep? You couldn't go in and take a whole, a whole shower, something, wipe up a little bit at the sink, but you had to wait till I got home to take a shower?
There's never been anything that I couldn't do while the baby was there. That's just me. This is getting weird now. This is getting weird
It's just
now.
like it looked like it's like, what the hell did you do all that? You didn't cook.
Didn't
you didn't
cook,
take a shower.
Didn't take a shower.
The house is dirty. What the hell you do all
They
day?
watched
But
the
then you're
baby,
tired.
literally.
Yeah,
Staring at
literally. I'm
the
tired.
baby all day long.
Tired
Yeah,
doing what?
tired of doing nothing.
I'm tired too.
Yeah.
I'm tired of going to work with no damn lunch. I'm
Mhm.
tired of coming home with no damn dinner. I'm tired of you looking disheveled. Just looking bad. I'm tired of that shit too. Can we both tired? Can we both sit here and agree we both are tired of a lot of goddamn shit? I'm done. So
I don't want y'all to
work
be tired like this no more. We're gonna do
Yeah,
better.
because then what's gonna happen? He said, you know what? Well, I'm going home because I know what's gonna happen at home. No food. She gonna look bad. So now I'm gonna go after work. Now I'm gonna go with the coworkers. I'm gonna go eat somewhere else. And then when I come home, I ain't fixing it. Don't even worry about it. Huh? I already ate. You don't never cook anyway. Now you on your film. What? Why you eat? Why you didn't wait to come home? Why? Look around. Is anything heated? Is anything burning? Is anything bubbling? Is
But
anything?
these be the women y'all be choosing now. Let me keep circling back to that.
Choose and have a baby by 'em.
Yeah, and not just one baby. They have like 2 or 3.
And shocked. I can't
Yeah.
believe she don't cook. Food she never cooked before. When did you ever see her
She
warm
never
water?
cooked.
When you ever see her bubbling water?
Wow.
Cook an
Boil
egg.
it. Egg, yeah.
So now you're surprised. I can't believe she showed you that.
Yes.
If you said, babe, cook me dinner, I can't cook. There's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
These are old.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, have a picnic. Have a picnic.
if she comes there, everything's from Popeyes to KFC, you know there's a problem.
Straight up.
Or you know, my mama cooked the eggs. Or mama did the mac and cheese. Well, what did you do?
Yeah.
I bought it.
Yeah.
You bought it. I bought
Yeah.
the ingredients.
See, it's ways to test, each other out here.
Yes.
And the question is, are we actually taking the time to properly vet each other before we get into the bed? Because the bed has all types of consequences once you come about it. I mean, you all
true.
entangled.
That's true.
You might have left something inside of her. Talking about that's not mine. No, it is yours, bro, man. Like,
That's true.
damn.
That is very true.
And I didn't trap you. No, that wasn't a trap.
No.
Yeah.
But that's what's missing. It's like a whole lot of conversation is not happening at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't brought up right. I'm just gonna say a lot of them had piss poor ass parenting.
The males and the females.
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Because, everybody's kind of coming out of these situations or being the products of all of these situations that's just kind of been occurring in, I'm going to call it life in America.
Yep.
Right? Because
Yes.
it's pretty much, as a result of living, in the lifestyle that we live in, the society that we're in.
Exactly.
Because of the country we're in.
Exactly.
So everybody in the pool is kind of jacked up, and then you go and blame their mama or their daddy, and then they'll blame their mama or daddy, and then you'll be like, well, I was just doomed from the beginning from messing around with this joke. I said, well, I'll be dead. I mean, sometimes you get into bed with these people, the girl's belly will be popped, and you've not even really seen anybody pass like an auntie or a mom or a cousin.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even really get to know the family.
Mm-mm.
You don't know what's going on in this family.
No. All you gotta do is meet them. All you gotta do is, if you get that serious, it's time to meet everybody.
Yes.
So you can understand the dynamics.
Yeah.
Because,
Again, you've allowed someone to enter into your body, but it's not that serious.
Mm-hmm. And it happens all the time.
Somehow.
It happens all the time. And so a lot of people that's just part of it. That's part of the dating game. If I don't get it early, then I'm gonna bounce anyway. So you expect to get it.
And then it's the early part.
Early.
So we don't even really get to know each other. Yeah, we gotta feel each other out, being connected to each other.
You would think so.
Yeah.
But they don't. And then when the situation gets to a point where you mess around, have a baby by her, and now you're like, oh, well, I didn't know she was like that. Well,
yeah, we know you didn't know she was like that. You didn't know her.
You didn't. You know. And now you want to blame her. But no, blame yourself.
Some
Everybody needs to be
self-accountability.
responsibility. Be accountable and responsible and take ownership in your shit. Because you were brought up in a dysfunctional situation doesn't mean you have to live your life dysfunctionally.
Yeah.
And,
you had piss poor parenting, but yet you don't reference anything else as far as the proper parenting.
yes.
Yeah.
If you were brought up in a dysfunctional relationship, you have relatives that they were married, they had kids, they stayed together, the kids functional and all that. To me, you know it's more to it than that. But at least you have a vision of someone
Right.
who they stuck together, they raised the kids raised, you have the house. And you look at your house. Where
Yeah.
is just your mama, or your daddy, depending on the situation. And you're just surviving.
Right.
Because you know what they go through.
You wouldn't even have a proper conversation with that other couple for so many people.
No.
And it's like, that's a reference point.
You need to. But you want to know, well, you know what? I don't need to learn from them because, I can stop
I'm going to do it
right
on
there.
my own. Right back to
Stop
doing
at
it
that
on
point. Your
your
mama
own.
raised you as best she could. Your mama was your mama and your daddy. Your daddy raised you. He was your mama and your daddy. If it's one parent, they're just trying to survive. They're just trying to
That's
give
a lot
you
of pressure.
a lot.
Mhm.
And you're trying to tell, and you're only going to get their view when they're able to give you a view. Because normally they out there hustling.
Yep. On
So,
that hustling
you know,
bustle,
they-
moving and grooving. Ain't got no real time to let their hair down
No.
and have a decent conversation or
They
just be
don't.
real or just kind of to parent.
To
Right?
parent. You don't
Because
have time.
I'm the hustler.
You have to
Yeah,
hustle.
but a hustler is not a parent.
No.
You have to take that off also.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people
And
don't understand that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter why you're doing it.
Yep.
That is a disconnect.
A
As far
big
as
disconnect.
you parenting and me seeing my mother or my father hustling day to day. I see it,
Yes.
but
Every
I
day.
don't really know them
No.
because they so busy in the grind.
And they have to.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to you have to decide the person that you sleep with and have a baby by if they're responsible enough. You know they're responsible. You would know where they are if you took some time to learn.
Yeah.
And if you took time to learn yourself, you would make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people they were born in situations, they lived through it, they survived the situation. So now they get out there like, okay, I gotta find something to love. Because if you really think about it, a lot of people go out there search for people because they are searching for love. Their parents did what they could do if they were hustlers. But the love to them is like, hey, you got food, roof over your head, food in your mouth, clothes in your back.
Right. That parenting love.
Hey.
They miss that part of it.
And don't fuck up in school.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I miss work to go to school because you fucked up, then it's gonna be
I
a
got
problem.
you to adulthood.
There you go.
Yeah, I got you to 18.
There you go.
Yeah. And there
if
was so much pressure there
yeah,
that's the most I could do. That's all I could give.
exactly. And God forbid if you had a parent that would blame the missing parent for every damn thing that if your father wasn't a bum, your mama wasn't so trifling, then you got to hear that. You got to hear that shit over and over again. If you like,
That'll
God
ruin
damn,
you.
I can't. Yes, I can't
That'll
wait.
ruin you.
And then you can't wait
Because-
to leave. Kids, I
yeah.
can't wait to fuck out of here
Yeah.
because I want to hear that shit every day.
Yeah,
about how loud
just
my
because
mama
I
and
don't
daddy
want to
is.
hear that phrase. I'm tired of you talking to me about my daddy.
I know he ain't here.
Yeah,
God damn it, I ain't blind. I ain't Stevie Wonder. I see that motherfucker ain't here. So okay, yeah, okay. So can you help me to just be a better person? Can you just give me what I need to be able to function rather than have
Can
this
you add something to the energy, to the positive
Yes.
energy, as opposed to taking away from the positive? Because even if the energy is just neutral in the space,
Mm-hmm.
you've added negativity to
Oh,
a
God,
child's energy space
Yes, you
that
did.
didn't have to be there.
No.
Didn't
Kids
have
are
to
not
be
stupid.
there. Like, hey, you know what? Money is tight, and I ain't gonna be able to do it. You ain't gonna be able to go there. You don't got to mention why. The fact that your father didn't do X, Y, and Z. So whatever, you can't do it. Whatever.
Simple.
Yeah.
Can't do it, and you move
Yeah,
on.
they pissed off either way because they can't go. Doesn't really matter why I can't go or why.
Exactly.
That part doesn't matter to a child.
No, you
The
just know I
fact that
can't
there's
go.
disappointment, that they have to deal with, and they need to deal with disappointment.
And what happens is what people don't realize, disappointment keeps adding on top of disappointment, adds on top of disappointment.
Yeah, you
so
keep
it's
it
not
going.
one big issue. It becomes a bunch of little issues that's a crepe. You keep adding on top, and all of a sudden now you're like, God damn, I got a cake. Well, it's a crepe because those are the issues. Kid don't know what to do with that because he can't talk to you because all you're gonna do is like, I'm here taking care of you, and you're like, I don't want to hear that because I hear it all the time about how
Now I
lousy-
gotta hear about your issues, Mom.
all the goddamn time. And
Yeah.
now I'm like, I got to get the hell out of here. So now when you do get of age, you can get out. Now you're just trying to search for somebody to share your
Like
life
you got
with.
shelled out too quickly.
You gotta
Yeah,
get
with
out.
not enough.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
you gave all you gave me is anger, regret, and disappointment. That's all you gave me. So I'm gonna take that shit, and I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here because
But
I'm
you're still
ti-
carrying that.
I'm carrying it. It's baggage. So now I'm looking for somebody out there, and I'm searching for somebody. So I may not look and say, you know what, she may be the perfect person for me. I don't really care. She loves me
You
for
just know
me.
you want to put your heart into somebody.
Got to. 'Cause
Okay.
can you just love me for who I am? And if
Mhm.
someone says, I love you, oh God, you love me with no condition. Because I didn't have to hear the flip side of that. I didn't have to hear all the other stuff that go along with it.
The
So you
stuff that
don't
I was so conditioned and programmed to
dipped
hearing.
into it. You was dipped
Yeah.
into it all the time that you're covered. It's like Chrome back in the day. You should dip Chrome.
So now you're saying I'm just prone to just wanting to hear anybody's goodness.
Anybody's good. That's why you like, why the hell is this girl with this guy? Or why? People ultimately want to be loved unconditionally.
Mhm.
And if you're not loved unconditionally at home, you're going to find someone that's going to love you that you think unconditionally,
Right.
but it's with a condition. But you're so,
But
he
it's
said,
not the condition that you are running away from. And so
yes.
since you got away from that condition
Mm-hmm.
and it no longer exists in this relationship,
Mm-hmm.
to you and your green self, you think that this is the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah.
Exactly. And then think about it, if you have a whole bunch of people that are around you in that same situation that you came up in,
Yeah.
you're both all injured people together. You're all
Mhm.
scarred, broken, shattered people together.
Giving each other the yes, thumbs up, this is okay, that feels good to you, it feels good to me, this is what we should be doing type of thing.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's who you're gonna go to. You want to go to the person who had a mother and father or a functional unit, because you don't want to hear what they're gonna tell you. They're
Mhm.
gonna tell you what, and they don't understand it because why? They were in a functional unit.
Yeah.
Like I said, so you brought it up in a functional unit. For us, we're like it's foreign to us because
Mhm.
you were brought up by your parents. I was raised by my grandparents, so I saw functional people. I saw people who worked as a unit to do what they need to do. It wasn't a point of, well, that's your job or that's that person's job. If things had to be done, you had to handle it. You had to do what
Mhm.
you need to do. And if something had to be done for you, your parents are going to say, hey, one of us is going to handle it, or we're going to
Yeah.
get someone
It's
to
going to
handle it.
get done.
So
Yes.
you weren't worried about, how am I going to get to this place? You knew you were going to get there. Either your mom or your dad are going to do it. Or if they couldn't do it, they're going to find someone
Yeah.
within
Those
that tight
two
unit.
heads were always together. Mhm.
Exactly. So you didn't have that. You were missing that. So when people don't have that, and they don't even know how that feels. So when
Mhm.
someone makes them feel good or touch a part of them that makes them like it's never been touched before, that vulnerability, that unconditional love, that's why you're like, well, why would somebody do that? Why would you let somebody do that to you? But they were missing that early. No one never gave them that.
Yeah.
So for someone, even as piss poor, pitiful that they are, they gave it to them.
Yeah.
They took that as, oh my God, that's love. That's that, and they take it as unconditional
Because it
love.
did fill them in the way that they needed to be filled for
Yes,
that moment.
as you said in a previous
Yeah.
podcast, somebody's gonna feel you.
Yes.
So if you don't get
Absolutely.
filled at home, somebody's gonna feel you.
Somebody's going to fill that vessel.
And these poor people out here now, it's like you got a whole bunch of people just trying to find something, but what they're doing is they're causing more chaos, confusion than anything because they're searching, but they're not really thinking and reacting to things. They're not fully thinking things through, and then
Mhm.
you're up in a shitty situation where you're like, oh my God, I got kids, and I got this situation, or my mama never taught me how to cook. I was so busy doing ramen noodles, or she bringing home
So
McDonald's or some shit like that. So she never taught me how to cook because she never cooked. She had time to cook. He or she never had time to cook or show me how to cook.
you see my face? So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, because I don't in the world, new age women,
Mm-hmm.
right, who can say my mama didn't teach me how to cook. You done
Mm-hmm.
learned everything under the sun from YouTube. You done beat your
Yes.
best face on YouTube. You done got
Mm-hmm.
all your hair tricks. Yeah, you done got your frontal slayed. You done took them from out of the beauty shop to your own bathroom and said, I got this.
Exactly.
You done turned into a kitchen beautician yourself. You've turned into everything
Mm-hmm.
from YouTube that you wanted to turn into. For some reason, you couldn't put chicken in the search bar
No,
and
because
figure that out.
you missed the point. You did all these things to get someone to love you.
Mm.
You didn't do all these things to learn chicken, all that stuff. No, you did all this to find someone to love me. If you, I wouldn't have gone and found out how to do my hair, my face, and all that stuff. All these things are improvement so I can find someone
Mm-hmm.
to look at me
To attract someone to you.
and
To
love
take
me,
care of
to
you.
take care of me and
Yeah.
love me for me.
But you didn't work on you
No,
to figure out how you could take care of someone else.
exactly. Because you were missing so many things growing up that all you know is I just want someone to love me for who I am. And
So
you
you
may not even
missed
know who
that
you are.
you missed that synergistic relationship between the mom and the dad.
Yes,
So where dad gives, mom takes, mom gives, dad takes, right? It's
exactly.
always it doesn't seem like the same give and take, right? But
Mm-mm.
it's always an equal exchange, right?
Always. And then don't throw in that equation of the mother and the daughter relationship, which
Mm-hmm.
could be very tricky. Because
Hmm.
now you get the mother and daughters, the mama may feel a certain way, like, your daddy ain't here. And now again, she has to look at this young lady who reminds her of the guy who dropped her, the guy who broke her heart. So now you're gonna treat her a certain way. You would think you would treat her like I don't want nobody to treat you like I was treated. But now
Yeah.
it's an animosity. It's like you're competing against her. It's like, I survived this, so you should survive it too. You look, I'm putting a roof over you. You look, I'm doing this. So now this girl's like, damn, I'm competing with my mama. Why the fuck I'm competing with my mama? Mom, you supposed to be telling me the way. You supposed to be showing me the vision. Supposed to be helping me down the road.
Right.
But now you're competition. Why the hell I'm competing against you? Because your mama's fucked up. Your mama never dealt with her issues wherever they were. So now she passes on to you. That's generational trauma. You're passing down to that young lady.
Absolutely.
So now this young lady's like, I just need to get the hell up out of here. I need to find somebody. So she's gonna do all that so she can find somebody. Just so I can get the hell out of here, I ain't gotta hear that bullshit. But now you
Mm-hmm.
gotta deal with a dude who's going through trauma because his daddy
Because
may not been
you
there.
only attracting a male who kind of running and looking for love kind of the same way you are, but neither one of y'all know how to take care of each other.
Nobody knows the true meaning of love. Love to them is tangible.
Mm.
Love is money. Love
Okay.
is things. Love
Mm-hmm.
is clothes. Love is buying
Like
makeup.
going out and having fun activities, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all that's
Yeah.
love to them. But for intangible, it's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna cuddle. I'm just gonna hold you. We're just gonna look at a
Mm-hmm.
movie. Nothing else. You're gonna spend
Yeah.
time together. We're just gonna show quality time. I'm gonna listen to you. You're gonna listen to me.
We're gonna plan this life together.
We're gonna plan it. And,
Yeah, we're
and
gonna
again, we're
figure it
both
out together. We're gonna talk about the stuff that aches you, the things that make you happy, the things that you want to do, where
yes.
you want to be at in life. What's your goals? What's your highs? What's your lows? Tell me about your cousin's old adventures and stuff. Like, now I want to know everything about you. That's love. I want to protect your mental space. I want to get into your mental space. Yeah,
Yes.
no, I'm definitely your piece.
Yes. And you're
Absolutely.
spiritual. And the other yes, you're definitely the
No,
peace.
I'm definitely it.
And spiritually, there's so many people who are broken spiritually. So many people are just broken spiritually.
I don't think that people are broken spiritually. I think there's a lot of people who aren't built up spiritually.
Yes.
Like they don't have it.
No, they
Like,
don't.
yeah, like I think especially kids that's looking like 21 and under out here. I mean, there's a lot of children who are not being brought up and with the foundation of any principles. Let
Yes.
me say that.
Yes, and you have to have some sort of foundation.
Mhm.
And again, you may brought up in a certain foundation, and you may, waver from that as you get older.
Mhm.
But at least you got to have some sort of core value of spirituality where somebody taught you.
Yes.
But if you have none,
Yeah, it's just like giving your child a tablet at birth,
mm-hmm,
sending them through school,
mm-hmm,
signing them up for sports after school. I mean, you can be doing what, most people would perceive as doing everything well, but you are giving them no spiritual guidance or
and oh
reference
God,
or
and
foundation. And
yep,
that's a problem.
huge problem.
Because that's supposed to be the foundation, the thing that motivates you and allows you to go out and do everything that it is that we're doing. And
Exactly.
like you said, also when you stray away from what you know, it's the reference point that brings you back.
Yes.
It's the thing that guides you every day.
Mm-hmm.
The things that you stem your decision making off of.
Mm-hmm.
And when that's just not present,
Mm-hmm.
like she referenced it, is the foundation shaky? No, absent.
Oh my
There are a
God.
lot of people, especially younger people,
Mm-hmm.
because remember the generation before these folks, right? The grandparents would talk to,
Mm-hmm.
the youth about I'm going to go with the Bible. But
Yes.
that's not just it across the board.
Yeah. But you need
Whatever you want
something.
to do,
Yes.
yeah, do you. Yeah, it was your grandmothers who or even great aunties,
Mm-hmm.
who would sit down the younger children and do Bible studies with them, or, make sure all the kids get themselves dressed, and, grandma coming to pick you up to go to church type of thing, and she
Mm-hmm.
gonna take you out after. It was just a nice time to kind of bond with grandma also, but she definitely, because moms were tired and moving and grooving and
Mm-hmm.
acting like they had too much going on.
Yeah.
Cook and clean.
That's who
The
taught-
grandmothers.
that's
Y'all
your
try-
grandmother's your aunt. That's who taught.
Yes, that is true. But
Yeah.
think about
So that's
today's.
missing.
Mhm.
Think about today's grandmothers. You got grandmothers who you got people with grandmothers probably about 40 in some cases.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, but more than the fact that they're so young means that they're still in the workplace. And that's sort of
Exactly.
like, I reference this being in America because it's a capitalistic nation,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Everything
Yes.
is based. So even the way we want to take care of our elders, sometimes you can't really give them the best care because you can't afford to,
You sure can.
right? And so the very idea that you have children young, your mother's still working, your grandmother's still working,
Mhm.
you're like, my grandmother was not still working.
Mhm.
When I was coming up as a grandchild,
Mhm.
we certainly had lots of time with grandma, but grandma was the first person's to, and also oversaw what mom's household was doing. Are you
Mhm.
taking them kids to church? Are you reading the? Are
Yeah,
you?
you're right about
They
that.
always in the
Yes, they
background
were.
yelling at their children.
Mhm.
Making sure that they're doing the things that need to be done. But it seems like nowadays, no, nobody. My mother ain't saying nothing to me in my household. What? Your
Mhm.
mother can't say nothing to you in your household? What?
Mhm. Yep.
How do we
Because
get there?
the mindset changed. The mind, the way we think, the way
Mm-mm.
we teach the kids have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was more of a I won't say control. It was more of a you showed them the way. The older generation showed you the way.
Yes.
And the gain respect from that. You respected your grandparents.
Yeah.
It was like you wouldn't go around them and curse. You never
No.
thought in your million years you
No.
wouldn't say a
I
curse
mean,
or a damn.
curse like a sailor.
A sailor.
A straight, full-blown sailor. Get
Yes.
to grandma's house. Those are the furthest words from my mouth.
I never what curse words. I don't even know what
I
that
like,
means.
I don't even know those words here.
None.
And it's like the snap on, snap. And I mean, I could get out her threshold and sailors present.
Yep.
Like the threshold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's back.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The level of respect.
You just said it. Respect. A
Uh-huh.
lack of respect.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that go wrong at? Because everybody wanted to become friends. But nobody never wanted to become parents and actually do the hard work necessary to do that. I don't want to go through, but I want them to feel like I felt growing up. Well, you didn't get your ass whipped like we got growing up either. Nobody hit you with everything they can get their hands on. Extension cords, belts, shoes, bricks. So that never happened. So you're not going to do that now. So okay, that discipline was not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then you took it to a point. You took it all the way down to like, I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want to do this. And now you let a kid just go astray and just say anything to you. Talk back to your grandma.
Yes.
Say stuff.
I will agree.
Slapping the lips.
I
So
will agree on that.
you have to say, I have to give you discipline. You have to get respect. You're gonna
Mhm.
respect me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what they do in your friend's house or your cousin's house.
Yep.
I don't give a damn.
Nope.
Because your cousin comes here, I'm whipping his
Yep.
ass. I'm gonna choke his ass out. Like I
Yep.
choked you out, I'm gonna choke
Yep.
his ass out. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
You walk through the door.
Yeah.
Yep. You both will
Yeah.
be laid out in the corner. Both of
You
y'all
know,
gonna be
cousins do everything together.
There you go.
Yeah, y'all get your ass whooped together
You get
too.
your ass whipped
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
You're both gonna have ice packs outside your goddamn head. Gonna knock both of y'all asses out.
And you're not a good cousin unless we get beat together.
We get knocked the hell out, wake up together. You say, remember that time we got concussions together? Yeah, I remember that too.
Remember that time when Auntie called us such and such? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Oh
that.
well, I mean that's what cousins do. You go through everything together. But absolutely.
So that's the problem now. So, we need to get back to controlling respect. And respect isn't about beating anybody up or choking anybody down. You carry yourself in such a way that you respect it.
Mm-hmm.
You act a
Absolutely.
way so people respect you.
Absolutely.
You ain't got to go out there and tell your cousins and your little cousins or your friends for your kids certain things. They respect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I respect Auntie Tamara.
And you start early.
Yes.
You start early and you love on them.
You love on them.
Right?
Yes.
Respect also includes a bit of love to it too, right?
It does. It really
yeah,
does.
they respect me because they also love me and I love back on them.
And you're not just every time you're not just chastising them.
Yeah, respect. You
time.
respect them also.
Yes.
That's a big key with respect in children is that children at all ages
Yes.
want to feel respected.
Yes.
You trash talking, smack talking a kid, they feel that.
Yes,
They don't
do.
feel respected. They don't want to be around you. They don't want to come to your house. They don't even want to look at you because
No.
you're disrespectful. And you think because it's a child that it's okay. It's not.
It's not okay. And those kids grow up.
Yes.
And they never forget that.
They
and then you
never.
wonder why he'll never, he should never come on and talk to me.
Because people don't forget how you made them feel.
Nope.
They forget the stuff that you said to them. But disrespect resonates with a certain feeling, right?
Yep.
You disrespect me, it made me feel a certain way.
Yes.
I had negative feelings that day. You messed me in my core. I get threw me off.
Yes.
You shifted me.
Yes.
Negatively.
Yes. And so.
No, I remember that.
But you know what you just said? That disrespect as a little kid continues to grow with them. So when they get older.
Because you continue it.
And so
that same aunt gonna keep on disrespecting that child.
Yep.
As they get older and older, and sometimes they don't even realize that those are not children anymore.
Nope. You still that little knucklehead. So
yeah.
keep
No, they're 21.
21 years
they're
old.
24. What are you like? He has a wife. You talking trash in front of his wife. No, see, now you need to be slid. See, but now you old. Now you old, and they talking about you can't slide auntie. Oh, okay. She need to watch her mouth.
Watch her mouth.
Yeah, because it's disrespectful.
And that kid now, that young adult now has to deal with these issues, these obstacles you put in their life.
Little quirks for no reason.
All the time you're trying to, and the other thing is these kids don't know where to go to solve them. Which means they have to solve it on their own. So now you're like, well, I don't know why it's so messed up. Well,
I mean, unless your auntie is like Iyanla, you probably don't have nowhere to kind of go to solve.
Think about
like,
it.
I mean, y'all need Von Zan in your life. What's her name?
Exactly.
Like, I'm just saying. Like, man, if we all had an auntie like that, we'd be straight.
You'd be straight. But you have a whole dysfunctional group of aunties and uncles who all, and you can see they're still dysfunctional. And you're like, God damn. And you just say
they just pass time. That's how they got to adulthood. Pass time.
And you're like, I don't want to be like them. And then so now you go out there and you end up in bad relationships. You really ain't had no role model. If those were your role models, I'm surprised you're still living with them knuckleheads.
What you end up doing is you end up kind of living the lifestyle that's familiar to them.
So now,
you do go to them for advice now because you're like. Tell me why to not continue to do what you've been doing, so to speak.
And you can't. So now, as we started in the very beginning, you have a whole bunch of people in a pissy pool. Because now you went from one generation of pissy pool to a new generation of pissy pools. And you just continue it. So now it's generational of pissy pools.
Yeah.
And you're wondering why things don't get no better. But the pool gets worse and worse with each generation. Because the more... Again, it starts to break down. Yeah. So now, before you like, oops, I pee in the pool. To I had an accident in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
To fuck, I'm gonna pee in the pool.
Now it's a
I'm
swamp.
shit in the pool.
Now that's what we supposed to do
That's what
here.
I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna get up. I'm gonna have, I'm
It's
just
a
gonna piss in the
swamp.
goddamn pool, and that's where we are. And then it's gonna get to a point where everybody's just walking in the pool with just pissing in the pool, not even in the pool, just going before they even get in the pool, just going in and peeing in the pool. So you got people in the pool who's doing it, and then you got people just on it's a piss pool, and then you go in, and then, so now you have an absolute toilet bowl,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how these kids are growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and how they making decisions based on the pissy pool.
Mm.
God damn. You know what? That was so bad that we just gotta do better, y'all. We really, really, really got to do better. And that means you have to look at yourself. You have to really, really look at yourself and make a change.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I said before, little changes. Because you didn't just
Always start small.
Always
Because
start
you
small.
can't do nothing big overnight. That's
you
dumb.
can't. You
Yeah.
really can't. You can't be eating hog maws all the time. All of a sudden, I'm gonna cut out hog maws. No, you got just start eating part of the hog maws. Cut down how the
Just don't have as much of it.
Yes, exactly.
Just don't have as much.
And do better. So, with that, peoples, we're gonna wrap up another beautiful conversation. T, girl, always a pleasure.
Been real as usual.
Oh my God.
Off the hog mugs.
Off
We're gonna
the
close
hog
it off
mugs.
with that one today.
So, peoples, like I said, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with you with another episode on the mic with the M&T. Peace and blessings. And do damn better every day. You wanna add something there?
That was good for me. See you later.
Peace.